Sports fans, once again, it's your man here with another BSJ 4-point play. The subject of today's 4-point play is none other than your 2020 Cleveland Browns, provided, of course, that we have a 2020 NFL season, why it is time for them to put up or shut up. Right? High time. Point number one, the skill positions are on point. With Landry, OBJ, Chubb, Hunt, and Njoku, provided that Njoku doesn't get traded. That's news to me here, of course, here as of late. Higgins, Baker Mayfield is surrounded by more offensive weapons than any other Browns quarterback that I can remember. And yes, I remember the mid-'80s with Bernie Kosar, Mack and Biner, Slaughter, and Langhorne, and so on and so forth. But I'm talking about from an athleticism, I'm talking about from a pure D talent standpoint, no other Browns quarterback has experienced, had surrounded or been surrounded by the kind of talent, offensive weaponry that Baker Mayfield has. Not enough balls to go around, you say? Let's revisit the 2005 Indianapolis Colts and look at their skill positions for that year. Now, I'm not comparing Peyton Manning to Baker Mayfield or vice versa, and however else you say that, horsey, and whatever. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying to you is I'm just pointing out the potential and the possibilities of a guy who's surrounded by offensive weaponry. You hear me? Good. Edgerrin James that year played 16 games, 1,548 yards, 1,548, however you want to say that. 9 touchdowns he did. Marvin Harrison, 16 games he played, 86 catches, 1,113 yards, 15 touchdowns. Imagine that. Reggie Wayne, another Kane. Canes, I see you. 16 games, 77 catches, 1,210 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Then you got, of course, Dallas Clark. He played 13 games, 25 catches, 423 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Oh, and did I mention Marcus Pollard? 13 games as well, 29 catches, 309 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, some of you all out there might be saying, oh, that ain't the yardage. No, it's not about the yardage per se. But, you know, because, I mean, again, the last two guys only played 13 games. So we can just imagine if we want to carry our 5 and drop to 2 and divide by and multiply, we could say if they'd have played 16 games, what the numbers, yardage, and so on and so forth might have been. But the point is, what I'm emphasizing here is the production in terms of scoring. See, the Browns, they got a bad habit of getting field goals or kicking field goals when they should be getting 7s. Now, y'all know I ain't lying. But that year in 2005, they 15, 12, 5, and 6 touchdowns from the skill position players now that Peyton was surrounded by. Oh, and here's another interesting tidbit to that. Of the 49 touchdown passes that Peyton Manning threw that season, the aforementioned skill players accounted for 47 of them. And where they do that at? Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? You see what the Browns offense could look like. I know I be poo-pooing on them, but hey, I've been a fan of them for too long I would lie for y'all before I would to y'all. Y'all know me. Barring injury, this Browns offense should beat what the 2005 Colts did by a West Virginia mile. Point number 2. 2 is better than 1. If you take a look back throughout the Browns' history in terms of their successful seasons, whatever you want to call a successful season, more wins than losses, okay? I ain't necessarily talking about playoffs and championships, just more wins than losses, far more wins than losses. You'll find the common denominator in just about all of those seasons being a better than solid 2-back tandem. Think about it. Jim Brown, Leroy Kelly's in the 60s. Greg and Mike Pruitt in the 70s. Early 80s, early 80s, 80, 81, but more so the 70s. And then, of course, Mack and Biner. I mean, who both had 1,000 yards in the same season. One of three, if I'm not mistaken, two-back tandems to have achieved such a feat. My point is, whatever offensive success the Browns and fans even hope to have, it starts and ends with Chubb and Hunt. No disrespect to OBJ and Landry. We all know what they bring to the table. But the catalyst for whatever offensive success, the Browns, should there be a 2020 NFL season, points directly, or there's a direct correlation to how Chubb and Hunt are utilized, with or without a fullback. I don't care. I'm telling you right now. Hey, listen, Richard Stefanski better be the reincarnate of Lindy and Fonnie. Point number 3, and this is right here. This drives me nuts. Divisional dysfunction. The Browns, of most recent memory, since 99 anyway, are combined in the division now, win-loss, 112 to 226. That's 112 wins versus 226 losses. Listen, every year prior to a Brown season, and I get the optimism and the hopefulness and the whole nine and all of that, but I mean, come on now, for 35 years, I know I digress, but you get the idea, right? The optimism and so on and so forth. Listen, how many wins and losses people want to talk about how many wins you think the Browns going to have this season? I could care less. I'm at that point. I could care, like the little boy who cried wolf. I could care less. Win your division. Beat the teams in your division, and the rest will take care of itself. Against the Ravens, since 99, you know what that series is? 31-11. Y'all want me to repeat that? No, I didn't think so. 31-11. Against the Bengals, which, of course, they played the Bengals since 1970, 51-42. That's right, the Bengals, the Bungles, got a better overall record than the Browns do against the Bungles. Now, you know what? Don't make me get no hockey sticks out here. And, of course, the dreaded and most hated by most Browns fans, the Pittsburgh Steelers. 76, 59, and 1 tie since 1950. I don't even remember the tie. And I was born in just put it like this. I sat behind Abraham Lincoln in high school, okay? The Steelers got 76 wins to the Browns 59. Since 1950, win the division. And point number 4, which of course brings us to the end, home cooking. Can't cook is more like it. Check this out. Again, since 1999, the Browns have started the season with a loss in 18 of 19 years. And let that marinate. 18 of 19 years. What's worse, and really hard to compute for me, not my words, by the way, SB Nation, that's where I got this part from. What's worse is that 14 of those 18 losses to start the season have come at home. So don't ask me what I think the Browns, how many games I think the Browns going to win. Ask me, do I think they're going to win their home games and they're going to win their division games? And again, the rest will take care of itself. But I'm not done. To truly capture the Browns' perpetual futility, they have not won a playoff game on the road since December 28th, 1969. December 28th, 1969, when, of course, they walloped Brother Rich and Double J, my two co-hosts on the podcast, by the way, Cowboys, 38-14. So you see, at the end of the day, should there be a 2020 NFL season, it is high time for the Browns to put up or shut up. This spot, of course, was brought to you by none other than the fine folks over at Rocket Digital, your one-stop shop for all your marketing digital needs. I'm Barbershop Jay, and don't forget to check out our podcast on Spreaker.com Tuesdays at 8 p.m. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla!